What's up, taters? This is Tree from treeoflogic.com. Now, I know you guys are like, what, Rammstein? What are you talking about? Listen, the channel is called My Independent Thoughts and Words, and I have independent thoughts and words about my favorite metal band, Rammstein. Oh! They finally have their next album coming out. It's been 10 years. I think the last album they pushed out was in 2009. And now it's 2019 and they dropped their new album, which is coming out in May. I don't know the exact date. I'll have that information in the description box or in the pinned comment below. But I do know that their album is coming out in May, and they came out with their first, of course, controversial video called Deutschland. And it's one of those videos you're gonna have to watch over and over and over again. But instead of me giving you my commentary over the video, I took the time, and I mean, it was very tedious, to screen cap every scene, almost every scene, like 97% of the scenes in there, and to break it down so you can see just how, first of all, this video, it's Rammstein. Okay, the music, of course, I knew Rammstein was going to come through. I don't have any complaints about the music. I love it. Wonderful single. If that's how your first single is going to come out, Rammstein, I'm looking forward to the rest of the album. But anyway, without further ado, let me show you the breakdown of the video, and then I'll tell you my opinion about it afterwards. Here we go. The first scene starts in 16 AD Germania Magna. We see Roman soldiers in the woods walking upon a scene of a person cutting something, and a red beam in the background going to the sky. The soldiers look up and see dead bodies hanging in the tree, but then the camera pans down to a person cutting off the head of Till. Once his head is removed, it's cradled in the right arm of a person wearing traditional Germanian clothes. The person lifts up their hood, and it's an African black woman. Then they cut to a scene of 5 astronauts carrying a sealed space coffin, followed by the 5 members of the band walking forward with Paul pushing the black woman in a wheelchair while she's holding Till's head. Next, we see an underground brass knuckle fight, and based upon the outfit of the black woman, it looks like a flapper dress and head covering, which was popular during the 1920s. Then it cuts to her wearing a gold armor with matching crown. You see lifeless bodies on the ground, and when it cuts to her, she's smiling with joy above them. Then one of the soldiers stands up with swords pierced through his body. The camera pans to him from another angle, and it's Till. Now the camera switched to the underground fight, and it's a man versus Till. Notice the red beams again in the scene. This is a common theme throughout the video. Each historic scene has a red beam in it. The men begin to fight in front of a cheering crowd, and then it shows the band walking away from an explosion, but it looks to me like a blimp is on fire. If I'm wrong, please let me know in the comments section. The camera pans to other angles showing more explosions in the background, and the band members are unfazed by it. Now it cuts back to Till getting his ass kicked in the brass knuckle fight, in which he is losing before it quickly cuts to an office scene with the DDR symbol in the background and Till sitting at the desk. The black woman is there dressed in black with gold and red trimmings. When they cut to her again, she's wearing a soldier's hat with the DDR symbol, smoking a cigarette while holding Eastern marks. And of course, the 2 red beams are behind her. The scene cuts to Till getting his ass kicked again during the second round in the brass knuckle fight. And now we see one of my favorite scenes in the video. The black woman dressed in gold, wearing bright red lipstick and a black bullet strap, walking 5 German shepherds with the German SWAT behind her. Now we see a scene inside the cellar that appears to be during the 17th century, with the band now dressed as monks eating human flesh off the black woman. The camera pans down showing men swimming in red water wearing latex masks and of course the red beams. Now it looks like the woman is dead, right? But she's not. She's just laying there with her eyes closed. But later in the video, you see her opening her eyes and mouth as if she's sexually aroused by the band eating human flesh off her body. Then it quickly goes to the DDR scene again before showing the astronauts finding some statues. Now this is the part that confused me. The astronauts looked at all the statues before looking at engraved wording on the wall. The middle word says Deutschland with a red beam over it. One of the words underneath it says meinen, which is the German word for my. I have no idea what is written above it or what the entire sentence is supposed to say. If you know, please let me know in the comment box below. Now we see the black woman in white. The band is now in a penitentiary with neck, wrist, and ankle shackles. Men above are throwing money at them until the police shows up and a black woman looks up at them while Till is pushed to the floor. Till is now being beaten by the prison guard while the police beats the men in the crowd. Now we see a big beam again in the background as the prison guard continued to beat up Till. The video quickly cuts to the black woman dressed as a queen with the red beam behind her before it pans to some missiles. Now this is the part of the video that has everybody losing their mind, the concentration camp scene. The concentration camp scene shows some of the band members watching others get hanged before it's their turn. Then we see the missiles being launched before going back to the concentration camp with the black woman in a knockoff Hugo Boss Nazi uniform wearing an eye patch. Then it pans to the gallows where the band members are about to be hanged. Take a look at their chests. Notice the symbols? The one on your far left is wearing an inverted pink triangle which dates back to the first concentration camp in Nazi Germany. It was a symbol of persecution by the Nazis used to mark homosexuals. The one in the middle has a gold star which represents the Jews. And the one on the far right is wearing an inverted purple triangle over a yellow triangle, which represents Jehovah's Witnesses of Jewish descent. And as the camera pans to the right, you see another prisoner with an inverted purple triangle, which represents a Jehovah's Witness. Seconds later, the Waffen-SS soldier starts kicking each cement block from underneath the prisoners while the black woman with red eyes look on. I'm going to stop mentioning the red beams in the background because it should be obvious by now. One by one, the band members are hanged before the video cuts to the scene with the black woman, the German shepherds, and SWAT. Now we see Till dressed in drag in an elevator with the other band members loading their rifles, revolvers, and shotguns. Now it cut to a scene with the band holding the black woman hostage with a bomb wrapped around her body. They begin to have a shootout with SWAT. Now we are back to the penitentiary scene, then the monk scene, and a confusing scene for me with Nazi soldiers to the right and an armored soldier to the left, with one of them burning a woman in red while the Nazi soldiers are burning books. Then we see a Nazi soldier hug the monk as the armored soldiers shake hands with the Nazi commander. And of course, you have the monks in the background holding lightsabers. Now we see the black woman kissing the decapitated head of Till before the video show her as a nun behind the statue heads of the band members. But then we see her rubbing her belly, showing her pregnancy. The astronauts come out of nowhere and rub her pregnant stomach too. Then it pans to the group dressed as gangsters before it quickly cuts to a scene of the astronauts in a delivery room with the Catholic priest dressed in all red assisting the black woman who's about to give birth. To me, they are trying to make this look like a futuristic Bethlehem scene with the halo and the two cows. Like, why would you have two cows in a delivery room? And now we see a cool army scene. The production of this video is beyond the quality of a top-tier movie. I mean, regardless of how confusing and all over the place the video is, one thing you can't take away from it is its beauty. The black woman gives birth to a dog, and now she's dressed in golden armor riding a horse. Then we see the police eye and the tank marching in with the carving of linen behind them before it cuts to the black woman wearing red gloves, pointing her gold gun at the decapitated head of Teal. But now we see the prisoners at the concentration camp with rifles pointed at the Nazi commanders while the soldiers look on. And then it quickly pans to the black woman dressed as a queen, pointing her gold sword while there's a battle below her. Now the video starts making quick cuts to the DDR scene, the SWAT, Nazis pushing over a car, Till losing the brass knuckle fight, the monks, these two cute German shepherds wearing gas masks, the black woman with a hawk, the prisoners killing the Nazis, and a very interesting scene of the black woman holding Till's head, pointing a sword in the air as two laser beams burn through the ground, leaving red smoke. Now, after showing the DDR scene again, with this time the men kissing each other before showing the monks, we see the black woman crying as she's praying. And now we see a new scene of the band crawling on their knees with the woman in the background now as an angel before cutting to the delivery room of them all holding puppies. I'm going to assume that the black woman gave birth to all of the puppies. And finally, we see the black woman with prayer hands behind a glass, only to realize that she's inside the space coffin. And then it cuts to the credits with the piano playing Rammstein's 2001 hit single Zona before ending. Now, as I said before, I love the song Deutschland. I love it. The video, I had to keep watching over and over again because there was so many scenes in there. And when I broke this down, I'm still not I still don't know exactly the entire message, but it does look to me like this is going through the entire history or somewhat most of the history of the German people. Now, this is the reason why you have to have the DDR in there, because that was very important in their history. And of course, the concentration camps with the Nazi soldiers. I mean, I don't understand why people are losing their minds about the concentration camp. Sorry, it was part of German history. Get over it, you snowflakes. I mean, seriously, really? Good Lord, who cares? This is Rammstein. They're always doing something controversial, and I think that's the reason why people love them, especially me. Now, a lot of people are confused about the black woman. Why is this black woman in every scene? What is her purpose? Well, to me, and I don't think I'm wrong, but if I am, I would like someone knowledgeable from the Rammstein camp to correct me. I believe that the German woman represents Germany. Why? Because she reflects the color of the flag. This is Rammstein we're talking about. And please don't listen. Let me tell y'all something. A lot of y'all forgotten that a couple of the members have dated black African women, okay? So they like the swirl and they love the chocolate. So I see how they would say, let's get something to represent Germany. How about, since the flag is black, red, and gold, we get a black woman, okay? And we put her in red and gold trimmings. Now, a lot of times she's dressed in gold, but she has red contact lenses or bright red lipstick. However, have you noticed that when she's in the Nazi concentration camp, her lipstick is black, which probably is showing the darkest time of the German history. It is the time where they were at their darkest hour, their darkest moment. And other times she's wearing bright red lipstick. So, I mean, it's so many interpretations towards this video. And I love to hear people break it down. But I think what's missing is that a lot of people are not seeing all the scenes. And this is what this video is for. I broke down all the scenes for you so that you can see it. Now, of course, as someone who worked as a professional dominer in Germany, I know that the members of Rammstein are kinky. They love to deal with BDSM and DNS, and it was so good. It was so great to see them put that into their video as always. You know, saying the latex. They had the latex mask on with them playing with them on their hands and knees. I mean, it was a lot of, you know, DNS scenes in there that I kept picking up like, I see it. I see you. So that's that. But it was just great. I just love Rammstein. I am so excited about their new album that will be dropping off in May. And like I said, I'll have it in the description box, the exact date, as well as the link to the video. Now, what is so amazing is that, you know what, this video is so controversial. You know what YouTube did? YouTube age restricted the video and took away the comment section. So I guess this is the reason why we have to have videos like this of those of us who are huge fans of Rammstein to have our comment section open so you can leave your comment about what you thought about the video, what you think each scene mean. If you want to break it down by scene, feel free to help me out because there's a lot of scenes in here I am clueless about. I'm like, I don't understand what this mean and this mean. And totally, I get the German Shepherd. I totally get the German Shepherd. But, okay, Germany gave birth to, because remember, the black woman represents Germany. So Germany gave birth to the German Shepherds. Got it. I think. But the cows and the astronauts, and what did the ending really mean for you all? I would love to know that part, because that was the part where it says it shows Germany in that space coffin. What are they really trying to say here? Okay, I don't know. I'm just speculating a lot of things. Let me know. I would love to hear from you in the comment section below. Okay, this is Tree from treeoflogic.com, and thank you so much for watching my video. If you like what I have to say, if you like what I did for you by breaking it down, give me a thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll talk to you next time. Later, taters.